Yeah. She's like, here, sit there and like, wait for the gasoline.
Oh, it's really good.
That's great.
We're eating a bunch of it.
Now they're really rubbing some bacon.
But this meat,
Oh, really?
one of those just rank it up.
Yeah.
There's two of them?
Hello and welcome. In the name of Carrie and Tom, I welcome each and every one of you. The presence of love is of utmost importance to both Tom and Carrie. Leading this ceremony will be Jerry Burback, a long-standing friend of Tom's family and also of Tom and Carrie, and Mary Orlando, who co-teaches with Tom at Villa Montessori School. Finally, the ceremony will be presided over by Judge Raymond Lee, a Superior Court judge here in Maricopa County. Welcome. Now please direct your attention to the bridal party arriving in the carriage.
Guess what?
Who gives this woman in marriage?
In honor of her parents and her family.
You may be seated. Tom and Carrie, this wedding ceremony is a time of great solemn coming together. And it is just awesome, to quote Tom, that you can be here together for this first step on your journey. And we appreciate the fact that this is such a solemn place. Really, if we were to choose a place where God is present, in nature like this, it is so wonderful that you have chosen this place, because there is the feeling of a sacred place and a solemn occasion for this ceremony. And it gives us an opportunity to have our dreams out there where we have a vision of the future, and that we have a hope for your future, but also that it brings out the memories that all of us have, memories of our own marriage and of our friends and relatives. And so it is so wonderful that your family can come together and that we can come together as friends and we can celebrate this with you. And we thank you and we honor you for this invitation and this opportunity. Thank you.
So often, Tom and Carrie, you've heard quoted the famous African proverb that it takes an entire village to raise a child. But what's equally true is that it takes an entire village to raise and grow and sustain a good marriage. And so today, we all gather as your village, and you stand surrounded by the highest wishes and blessings of all of the people who love you. And it's an honor to be here with you. And so I'm going to ask you to face each other, take each other's hands, close your eyes, breathe deeply, relax, and truly take in the love that surrounds you right now. come into harmony with each other and with the beauty of this moment. At the same time, I'm going to ask all of you to also close your eyes, breathe deeply, relax, come into harmony with one another and the beauty of this moment. Since ancient times, people have relied upon ceremony to connect the energy of each person participating, heart to heart. In so doing, there is a collective energy present that creates the true power of ceremony. And so in this moment, this sacred moment, we first, in a spirit of forgiveness, release and let go of anything that would keep us from uniting heart to heart. And so just in your own heart, take a moment and extend to any person, place, or situation the gift of peace. Secondly, we invoke the blessings and protection of our ancestors. The ancestors we wish to mention and honor in a very special way are your mom and dad, Carrie. We ask that their presence and guidance wrap themselves around you both, an invisible cloak of love, to mind you your entire married lives. And now would you turn out towards your village?
And in the name of Tom and Carrie, we would like to acknowledge some other very significant people in their lives. And we would like you to save your clapping until after we have made the introductions. And first of all, Elvira, Carrie's grandmother, would you please stand? Elvira, Carrie wants you to know what a strong and steady presence you have always been for her, and that you continue to be, and that you're such a wonderful role model for her. And Carrie hopes to grow to becoming the kind of woman that you are.
And although Tom's grandparents were not able to make the long trip here, he wants them to know what a strong influence they have had on his life. They have been married for 60 years. Does that say it all? Their honesty, kindness, and generosity are deeply admired.
And next, we would like those two young gentlemen who walked up with Carrie, brother-in-law Scott and brother Joseph, to step forward. Joseph, Carrie wants you to know what a great big brother you are to her. And even though appreciation might not have been expressed each and every time, your protective way of watching out for her and making her a truly important person in your life is truly appreciated by her. And Scott, Carrie said that you have always been so supportive of her. You are a person who is never afraid to face a challenge. She is especially grateful for your guidance in practical matters.
Would Tom's mother, Joan, please stand? Tom says, Joan, that he is sure that you are the happiest person here. That after all of those years of being surrounded and perhaps a bit outnumbered by male energy and presence, you at last have a daughter. Both Tom and Carrie want you to know how grateful they are for your helpfulness in planning and organizing the wedding. And Joan, you once told me how kind and friendly Tom always was ever since he was little. And it was very interesting to me that those were the first qualities he named when talking about you. So, great job in rubbing off, Joan.
And Joan, Tom would also like you to know that he agrees he was about 2 years late in making the ceremony. Next, I would like Carrie's sister Barbara to step forward. And Carrie quoted an old adage that by chance sisters, by choice friends, when speaking about you. She says you're best friends. She loves watching you be a great mother to your own children, and says she has gratefully enjoyed some of that great mothering from you also. Thank you, Barbara.
Would Tom's dad, Ed, please stand? Ed, Tom said he never needed to guess your position on anything. You are a very clear, straightforward man. He admires both your brightness and your great sense of humor. Thank you.
Would Carrie's sister Beth please step forward? Beth, Carrie said that you are someone who really knows how to make dreams come true. You keep your priorities straight, and nothing seems to stop you. So she is grateful that even though you live far away, she knows there is nothing you wouldn't do for her. Thank you.
Would Tom's brother Ed please step forward? Tom said that only being 10 months apart, you kind of grew up being attached at the hip. You did everything together, had the same friends, played the same sports, and when you were both very little, even had your own incomprehensible language that you spoke back and forth. He said that you are a real world type of guy, and that your differences have always complemented each other very well. He said one of his greatest memories will always be when you drove him home from second base in the Wiffle Ball World Series Championship game. And Ed, Tom's secretly convinced that long, long ago, you had your eye on Carrie first. And he wants you to know that he's very glad that the best man won.
Okay, would Carrie's good friend Brittany please step forward? Carrie and Brittany went to the University of Arizona together. Imagine that. Carrie feels like you are like another part of her, and that even when you have not seen each other for quite a while, you picked right up where you left off. You have a very comfortable, trusted relationship, and have spent hours and hours laughing about everything and anything.
Would Tom's brother Bill please step forward? Now, Bill is 5 years younger than Tom. And although Tom described you, Bill, as very bright, with a great sense of humor, he also added that it was a miracle that you turned out so well for all the abuse he and Ed heaped upon you as a kid. Bill, it was very interesting. He audibly described all the crashing, smashing, banging, clanging noises every time you drove your bicycle into the garage, and how he and Ed would coax you to relinquish the tight grasp you held on your hard-earned pennies, only to send them flying into the air with one quick blow to your trusting open hand. Joan, I probably should have asked you for some specific examples when you said Tom was so kind when he was little. Anyway, Bill, now that Tom is older and wiser and riddled with guilt, he wants you to know how great it is spending time with you now, and how much he especially enjoyed your hiking adventure last summer.
Okay, would Carrie's sister-in-law, Anne, please step forward? Carrie says that you are someone who has an eye for beauty and knows how to create it. And if anyone needs proof of that, just look at her beautiful new baby daughter, Grace. Yes.
Thank you. Would Tom's good friend Antone, but better known as Toby, please step forward? Toby, Tom described you as the most together guy. He said you always walked to school together. Tom was always 5 minutes late, but you were always there. And that this has been the enduring metaphor of your friendship, that you have always been there for him. He is really looking forward to being the best man at your wedding in April, when you marry April. Tom says you have the respect of everyone who knows you, and that you are a great person to emulate. Thank you.
And would Carrie's cousin Tracy please step forward? Tracy, you are very special to Carrie since you are her only cousin. Wow. She said she always looked up to you when she was little. Everyone is thrilled with anticipation of the arrival of your first child. And Carrie was also thrilled that you could still be in her wedding, coming all the way from Chicago. Thank you, Tracy.
Would Tom's good friend Elmer please step forward? Elmer, Tom said you fashioned your friendship out of playing basketball against each other every day when you were both co-basketball coaches at Greylock. He talked you into moving out here to Phoenix from Mississippi, only to have you snatched up and hired away by another company 5 months later. He described you as a kind-hearted, friendly person whom he is so glad to have formed a long-term, enduring friendship with.
And would Carrie and Tom's good friend Molly please step forward? Molly, we understand that you are a person mainly responsible for why we are gathered here today. It was through you that Tom and Carrie met. They both consider you a dear, dear friend and want you in their life forever. Thank you, Molly.
Would Tom's good friend Larry please step forward? Tom said you were the main reason he moved back to Phoenix from Austin. And Larry, he described you as a great guy with an infectious enthusiasm for life and someone who everyone likes.
And would Tom's good friend Chris please step forward? Tom and Chris have known each other since 3rd grade. He referred to you as being bright and honest, with a great sense of humor. We understand that your first child, who's 1 year old, is already on a waiting list of a Montessori school, and that convinces us that you are very bright.
Would Tom's good friend Ryan please stand? Ryan will be making one of the readings today. Tom and Ryan have been friends since the 1st grade. While growing up, all the guys hung out at Ryan's parents' house. In fact, Ryan's parents predicted long ago that Chris would be the first one married. It was a toss-up who would go next, Tom or Toby, and remember Toby's getting married in April, but Ryan would definitely go last. So, any of you single girls out there, the time is definitely right. Anyhow, Ryan, Tom described you as an honest, intelligent, original sort of person with a great love and talent for music.
And would Carrie's Aunt Barbara please step forward? Aunt Barbara is Carrie's mom's sister, and she will also be making one of the readings. Barbara, Carrie said that you have always been grounding force in the family. You have been like a mom to her, and she said that although you have endured a lot of pain yourself in your life, you are a funny, fun, great woman.
And last but by no means least, would Tom and Carrie's good friend Jerry please stand? Jerry and Tom met in college, and he has lived with Tom and Carrie for the last 2 years. Jerry, Tom and Carrie see you as a great friend and as a good person. Thank you.
And Tom and Jerry, who are graduates of the University of Texas, the only team to beat my Cornhuskers this year. I want you to know that's the last time. And would the Flower Girls please step forward? Brittany, Caroline, and Addison. They are Carrie's nieces. And it was beautiful to see you ladies, young girls, come forward today, and thank you very much. Carrie loves you, and Tom is getting to love you too. Okay, shall we hear it for everyone? And Carrie and Tom wish that they could have acknowledged everyone here, and we realize that that's not possible in terms of time, but they are very, very grateful that you are here, and that many of you have come from a long distance, as far as Canada and Texas, Chicago, and other parts of the country, and so thank you very much. It is very good that you are here.
And could those people stand, and let's give them a special round of applause. The people from out of town. Anybody who arrived from out of town. Thank you.
Porque sin ti no sé vivir, como la ola sabe reflejar el sol, tu cuerpo amigo sabe completar el amor, muchacha fiela y no te vayas a ir, porque sin ti no sé vivir. Han vuelto a mí, hay lo mismo que a él, otra vez a caminar en el atardecer y tomará de mi mano, hablando del amor, y tomará de mi mano, hablando del amor. ¡Ole!
And Tom and I are lucky enough to teach with that wonderful musician, Gaetano Frank, and his wonderful cohort, Monty. Thank you. And now, Aunt Barbara.
I'll be Aunt Barbara. If I speak with the eloquence of men and of angels, but have no love, I become no more than blaring brass or crashing cymbal. If I have the gift of foretelling the future and hold in my mind not only all human knowledge, but the very secrets of God, and if I also have that absolute faith which can move mountains, but have no love, I amount to nothing at all. If I dispose of all that I possess, yes, even if I give my own body to be burned, but have no love, I achieve precisely nothing. This love of which I speak is slow to lose patience. It looks for a way of being constructive. It is not possessive. It is neither anxious to impress, nor does it cherish inflated ideas of its own importance. Love has good manners and does not pursue selfish advantage. It is not touchy. Love does not keep account of evil or gloat over the wickedness of other people. On the contrary, it is glad with all good men when truth prevails. Love knows no limit to its endurance, no end to its trust, no fading of its hope. It can outlast anything. It is, in fact, the one thing that still stands when all else has fallen.
This is called Partners. On this day of sacred days, in this place of sacred places, you will become my dearest friend, my love, my partner on a life journey so rich and swift and memorable that the end of it will seem but a moment from now. You and I are bound to give to one another the sacred love of generations who stayed in the place of creation, forgetting the outside world in order to build from within. Our marriage is a shrine to holy love where the Creator placed everything of value for us to discover, the way our parents discovered their own world and passed it on as a witness to their loving time. And this is just a few words from Walt Whitman, Song of the Open Road from Leaves of Grass. I give you my hand, I give you my love, more precious than money. I give you myself, will you give me yourself? Will you come and travel with me? Shall we stay by each other as long as we live? Tom and Carrie, as you begin your journey of love, may the warm sun shine brightly on your path. May each day you share be full of promise and joy. May you find time in each day to see beauty and love in the world around you. May you see your future as one filled with promise and possibility. May you always know that there are those who love and understanding will always be there for you. May you always feel loved. All of your family and friends here in body and spirit wish you a lifetime of continuing love, fulfillment, happiness.
And now we would like to prepare for a candle lighting ceremony. So if everyone could please take their candles a moment. Tom and Carrie, we know that you know what a very powerful moment this is. To stand in the presence of the people who love you the most and who you love the most and publicly proclaim to the world what you commit your lives to is very powerful. To help ground and illuminate this, the depth and breadth of this commitment, we turn to symbol and metaphor and the wisdom of the universe. For the way of the universe reveals to us the way of the divine, the great mystery that permeates all things. And so, we lit this candle as a symbol of the sun, our great stellar grandfather, who every second transforms 4 million tons of itself into light, light that soars away in all directions in order to give energy and life and warmth to all that exists. The sun's extravagant generosity in consuming itself so that others might live is a spectacular manifestation of an underlying impulse that pervades the universe. In the sun, this impulse reveals itself in the ongoing giveaway of energy. In the human heart, it is felt as the urge to devote one's life to the well-being of a larger community. Human generosity is possible only because at the center of the solar system, a magnificent stellar generosity pours forth free energy every day and night without stop and without complaint and without the slightest hesitation. This is the way of the universe. This is the way of life. To accept the gift of life and then turn and pour out our own creative energies so that others might live. So on this your wedding day, Tom and Carrie, on this day when you choose to make manifest the deepest meaning of your life together, may this symbolic ritual of drawing life from the center and source of cosmic generosity and passing it on to others sustain and support you and your children and all of us down through the generations to be faithful to our own genetic coding for profound generosity in service of our earth community. The poet Pablo Neruda wrote some beautiful love lines. He said, "I'll bring you bluebells from the mountains and rustic baskets of kisses, and long to do with you what spring does to the cherry blossoms." And so, as you draw light from the center of generosity and pass it to others, let us all be spring for each other. And as we do it, let us be very conscious of what it means to live a noble life within the great holy that is the universe. So as the bridal party comes forth and lights their candles, first Carrie and Tom will light theirs together. And then if you could all stand and hold your candles, the best man and woman will walk down and light the candles of each one at the ends of the rows. And then please turn and pass it and share that life and light and love with one another. And do for each other what spring does for the cherry blossoms.
before you blow out your candles, I'd like you, like all of us, to close our eyes and realize that the energy that is symbolic here and the peace that we represent for others may be passed on to others as it is passed on to us. A moment of silence and pass on your peace and your light to someone. And please be seated. Okay, right before the vows, what I would like to do is give a short talk. And one of the things I would like to point out to you, in case you are wondering, is that Tom Jankowski has two brothers. There are 3 Jankowski boys. And I think it is very significant that today it is very clear to us who is best. Tom chose both Bill and Ed to be best men. And so I recognize, Tom, that that's not an inferiority on your part, but I think that certainly we want to acknowledge that. And Carrie, it is so beautiful to see your family. I've known Carrie for the last several years, and without much success for the past at least 2 years, I've been directing and encouraging and getting to the point of compelling Tom to take this step. And Carrie, you are beautiful, and you have a beautiful family. And I really want to acknowledge also your mother and father today. And I know how they are present. In fact, this is an opportunity for all of us to recognize that you too are entering on a journey today, and this is just the first step. This journey is certainly a romantic journey. We recognize and appreciate the love that you have for each other. But we also recognize that that love generates life for us and for others, and hopefully for your children. And if you look at marriage, and this is for all of us to reflect on, this journey can also be an heroic journey with its trials, tribulations, challenges, and sacrifices. This year, some of you were present, and I know Tom and Carrie were, at Marilyn and my 25th wedding anniversary on January 30th. And that was an opportunity for us to recognize that in 1974, we were where you are now. And the journey has been a romantic journey, and the intimacy is one of great and precious gift. But also there have been those challenges. And I do not want Matt and Chris to think that they are challenges. They are really opportunities. I'm talking about my sons sitting with their mother back there. But as a family, then pretty soon we move to the journey where it is more than just the two of you, it is the family. And so we have to give off, as Mary says, the energy that we have received. We have to pass that on to others. And so I really want to recognize tonight, or this afternoon, that you have made it possible for us to be in this sacred place. And if anyone wants to take the opportunity of recognizing God's presence, now is a good time to do that. Because we are in nature that God has created for us. This is beautiful. This is wonderful. And one of the things that Tom Jankowski stands out for among our teachers is his almost reverence for nature, and the recognition and the acknowledgement that God is present. I had a retreat one time by a priest, and he had all of us 60 people close our eyes and reflect on where is the place that you most frequently came into contact with God, that you were conscious of God's presence. And afterwards he asked all of us to raise our hands, or he would ask, how many of you found that your sacred place was in nature? Every single person raised their hand. And so this is really a wonderful choice and opportunity for us. And I also want to recognize that God has called you, that this is a sacrament. And for those of us who know the meaning of sacrament, your coming together, your promise of love to each other, and your manifestation of that love and that commitment to giving life through that love is a sign to us of God's presence. And also a sacrament is a source of God's life. And so we recognize that your gift of love to each other is also a source of God's life for us. So it is life-giving. And so we want to recognize that this exchange that you make today is not just something that you hold on to for yourselves, but it is also a gift of life passed on by God through you to all of us. And I would like now for Judge Lee to ask you about those vows.
Tom and Carrie, would you face each other, please? Do you, Carrie, want to marry Tom, to happily hold him above all others and have him as your husband?
I do.
And do you, Tom, want to marry Carrie, to happily hold her above all others and have her as your wife?
I do.
Please repeat after me your vows. From this day on, Carrie,
From this day on,
I choose you, my beloved Tom,
I choose you, my beloved Tom,
to be my husband,
to be my husband,
to live with you
to live with you,
and laugh with you,
and laugh with you,
to stand by your side
to stand by your side,
and sleep in your arms,
and sleep in your arms,
to be joy to your heart
to be joy to your heart,
and food to your soul,
and food to your soul,
to bring our best in you always.
to bring our best into your
Or you can say, no, that sounds like you better say to bring out the best in you always.
to bring out the best in you always,
And for you,
and for you,
to be the most that I can.
to be the most that I can.
And Tom, would you repeat after me? From this day on,
From this day on,
I choose you, my beloved Carrie,
I choose you, my beloved Carrie,
to be my wife,
to be my wife,
to live with you,
to live with you,
and laugh with you,
and laugh with you,
to stand by your side,
to stand by your side,
and sleep in your arms,
to sleep in your arms,
to be joy to your heart,
to be a joy to your heart,
and food to your soul,
and food to your soul,
to bring out the best in you always,
to bring out the best in you always,
and for you,
and for you,
to be the most that I can.
to be the most that I can.
Okay, this is now the blessing of the rings time, and we ask Ed, the best man in the family, to bring forward the rings. These rings are made of precious metals, a symbol of the richness that reside in each of you. And as any metal is purified by a white heat of fire, so will your love be purified by the challenges facing you through the many seasons of your life. Wear these rings as a sign of the love between you, the love unquenchable which now your hearts embody and your words express. And if you'd repeat after me, Carrie. Tom,
Tom,
I marry you with this ring.
I marry you with this ring.
With all that I have and am.
With all that I have and am.
Okay, Tom. Carrie, I marry you with this ring.
Carrie, I marry you with this ring.
With all that I have and am.
With all that I have and am.
Now that you've heard Tom and Carrie recite their vows, do you, their family and friends, promise from this day forward to encourage, love, and support them in being steadfast to the dreams and promises they have made? If so, please respond, we do.
We do.
Okay, very good. And will you support their children, helping Tom and Carrie introduce them to a community filled with love, hope, forgiveness, and creativity? And their children's names will be Gerald and Geraldine. If so, would you please respond, we will. We will. And now the judge will please make his statement.
Through the authority and power vested in me by the state of Arizona, and perhaps even more so by the strength of your true and abiding love, I now am pleased to pronounce you husband and wife. Tom, you can kiss your bride.
So, would everybody please stand? You two face. Each other. And please close your eyes. Open your hearts. And from the depth of your souls, please extend with me this blessing upon Tom and Carrie. Tom and Carrie, may you be blessed with good friends. May you learn to be a good friend to yourself. May you be able to journey to that place in your souls where there is great love, warmth, feeling, and forgiveness. May this change you. May it transfigure that which may be negative, distant, or cold in you. May you be brought into the real passion, kinship, and affinity of belonging. May you treasure your friends. May you be good to them, and may you be there for them. May they bring you all the blessings, challenges, truth, and light that you need for your journey. May you never be isolated. May you always be in the gentle nest of belonging with your friends. And grounded in this love, may you live your lives with deep compassion and extravagant generosity.
And beloved family and friends, we present to you Mr. and Mrs. Thomas Jankowski.
Turn right back at me.
Sorry.
Football at you. Oh. This? Wait, I gotta go the right way. I think we're back here.
I think you gave me that. Like you did a little bit. You're a little tense.
I got some bubble bath.
My own way. Did you find it? They didn't realize I was getting married to like he loves you.
First one.
Oh my God.
I love that.
I don't want to. smile over here.
I'm sure glad you looked to the east instead of the west. While we've got them out on the floor, I'd like to bring our best men, Ed and Billy, to the front. In the meantime, I'm going to scout up another microphone.
Okay. This is my drink for those who take pictures, so I'm going to be very careful. Like 5 minutes. Is that okay? Thank you. Sorry, thank you. Oh,
Take a champagne. For this toast. I think they're trying to toast on it here.
I think they're trying to toast.
They got
grab
the
something
apple.
to toast.
There we go, we got it now.
Did you get the apple cider?
I'd like to present our best men, Ed and Bill.
Thank you. Thank you. Before we offer the toast, we have a telegram that we want to read from our aunt and uncles, George, Nancy, Elizabeth, and Will. And they would undoubtedly be here if it weren't for their team, the Tiger Cats, being in the playoffs right now for the CFL. So they sent a telegram for Tom and Carrie, and I just want to read it before we go on to the toast. It says, "Dear Tom and Carrie, sorry we can't be with you on this special day. Hoping you bring us luck in Montreal. To a long and happy life together, George, Nancy, Elizabeth, and Will." Ed's going to be presenting the toast. And just to Tom and Carrie, I hope that everything goes well with you guys. I wish you the best of luck. Tom and Carrie, we want to thank you for allowing us to be your best men. It was an honor for us, especially considering all of the best men that are here tonight. And it's one of the things that when we talked about this that really rang true was from Tom's strengths is the number of best men that are here tonight and the strength of those relationships. It's really an honor for us to be here. Carrie, we really appreciate the strength of our relationship that has grown over the past couple of years, and we really look forward to growing that as we continue to be friends and family. Our entire family is very excited to have you as a member of our family, and it's an honor. Carrie, with Tom, you've also got your hands full. But with that comes a lot of very good things. Tom has unparalleled integrity and character. And I think that everyone here who knows Tom believes that. And he will be a faithful, loving husband. And we guarantee you that we'll straighten him out if it's not that way. Tom, you've picked a great bride. With Carrie, you have a beautiful, beautiful wife who we are so very, very happy that's going to join our family. Again, we thank you for the friendship that both of you bestow on us. And with that, we offer up the toast to the wonderful couple that you are and to the honeymoon that will never end. Tom and Carrie.
At this time, I'll ask you to just resume your feast this evening, and the bride and groom will now, while they're on the floor, maybe do their first dance together as man and wife. If you'd like to put down the glasses, we'll get right to the first dance.
toes.
At least you can hear.
Clouds stumble over themselves in the sky, and all the pretty horses come running to her, and even the dust devils pray they'll catch your eye. Her house from the outside. I want her baked cornbread, talk on the phone, and the wireless on the inside plays a sad, sweet song. The mute moonlit statue am I, she waltzes alone. So empty in the head and tied up in the tongue. And baby, baby, I could call you baby if I were so green and tall. The wind ain't stopped blowing since morning. Froze up on the inside. It's like you get warm in the bunkhouse. Thaw out on coffee and bread. But baby, baby, I could call you baby if I weren't so empty in the head and tied up in the door. Your government warning, like I need a hole in my head. I won't shoot your coyotes and I won't burn your weeds. Your paycheck won't fill up this hollow, won't dull all the aching. So empty in the head and tied up in the door. But baby, baby, I would call you baby if I weren't so green and tall. If I weren't so green and tall. If I weren't so green and tall. If I weren't so
Tom and Carrie, together forever. Who likes to do the